Devon Digital here, and welcome to the Tech Channel. And here in this podcast, whether you're tuning in, or listening, or watching, it's going to be more so of a rant, uh, pretty much a social media rant, and just talking about my experience on Twitter. I'm on Tech. I'm part of Tech Twitter, and I'm up there a lot and very consistent. And I just want to go about my experiences that I have up there. Some are good and some are bad when it comes to the clashing of different personalities and clashing of different types of people and all of that. So let's get like right into it, right? So basically, when I'm up there and I'm posting about any of the products that I use, so I mainly main three mobile products, and that's Samsung, Apple, and Google. Okay. So whenever I have an issue with Android, or let's just say Samsung, and I post about it, I get almost no flack from anybody. Everybody's either like, man, mine's not having that problem, or uh, yeah, I'm sorry about your thing or your problem. Or some people even go as far as to try to help me. They'll be telling me clear cash, do this, and stuff like that. And I get that a lot from the actual community up there, like good people. Same thing with my Pixel. If I post about that, some people may be sharing the same experience, and then they will tell me about their experience or different experiences, or either again, people will try to help me, solve the problem or find a solution and stuff like that. People go out of their way to find links and send it to me, and just so many different things that people do as far as the tech community goes. So when it comes to my, yeah, this device, or any of their products that I use, I get an army. I get an army. I got an army of people that's not even following me. Or you know how Twitter works though. Some people probably have the headline, they hashtag iPhones and look for it or whatever. I don't know, or anything for that matter. The army comes running quick. I mean, very quick. And if I post a bad experience about what I'm having on iOS or my iPhone or my iPad or my Mac that I use every day consistently, yeah, fanboys, and that's the term that is used on Twitter and every social platform when it comes to whatever it is, whether it's Xbox fanboys or PlayStation fanboys or Tesla. I heard Tesla was worse. Whatever product or company that these people are fanboying, that's the term that they use um, when it comes to it. So for the last, like, I don't know, man, since HTC died, I don't even know the year they died. I've been using Samsung phones since then as my main device. And I always had an iPhone as my second device. I have two lines. I have my personal line, Android, and then I have my business line, which is an iPhone. And I don't mean like business as in I use that phone to do business work, like functionalities. It's just the phone that rings whenever I have a potential client calling me about a photo shoot. That's not my business work phone. Like, I would still do everything on Android phone for work, documents, and all that stuff like that, because it handles it a lot better to me, for me, okay? And on tablets as well. But it's just the line that I know, if this phone rings, then is a potential client for my company, well, my photography, because I'm a photographer. And then when it comes to my Pixel, this is probably my family and friends and anybody I know that's personal. So that's the difference between like the two lines or whatever. So I just know that when that phone's ringing, that's what it is. So any issues that I report about any of these devices that I use, like I said, I get a lot of flack from the Apple community when I talk about my iPhone. And it's not even that I'm talking about it like I hate it or anything for that matter. And keep in mind, like I said earlier, I've been using Samsung since the beginning, like I mean, not the beginning, but since HTC just, well, yes, from the beginning as well, but since HTC died, it's been my main device, and my iPhone's been my second device. Just last year, when the Pixel 6 came out, I went back to the Pixels to try it, and I kind of fell in love with the Pixel 6. And from, I guess, when was it? October? Since October release until now, I've been using the Pixel 6. I have probably been called a Pixel fanboy at least 100 times on my Twitter because it's been the main phone that I've been using. So it's been the main phone that I've been talking about. When it came to my iPhone, when I was using that as a main, when they wasn't around, they didn't see those tweets. So now they see these tweets. They're like, I'm a Pixel fanboy. A fanboy to me is like a long term thing, right? I don't know, like I'm a fanboy of the Cowboys. I've been a Cowboys fan since when I was young and older now. That's a fanboy. I'm a fanboy of the Cowboys. They might suck, but they my team, right? Chicago Bulls. It's my team. Been a fan since forever. It hasn't even been 10 months of me using the Pixel, and I'm a fanboy already. It's just amazing because it's the main phone that I currently use, and because of that, I'm a fanboy. Um, yeah, so and it's crazy because I would talk about a problem that I have on my iPhone, and then I guess somebody would go down my Twitter and look at some of my tweets, and they would just go, "Oh yeah, he's a Pixel guy. Let me go back and say you're a fanboy," or they look for Twitter for Android. It's gotten so bad on Twitter when it came to that I started using Twitter for the web on like my iPhone and on my Android and on my iPad and my Mac, my Android tablets, just Twitter for the web because half of the time if they know the source that I'm tweeting from, then I would get somebody to say, "Oh, you a fanboy, you're an Android fanboy, Twitter for Android," or they just say Twitter for Android like that settles the whole argument of what I said. Oh, you're Twitter for Android. So I get that a lot, and this is my experience. If you're watching this, right, I don't want to sit here and say like, like it's iPhone people, right? Because it's not. I know Android people are the same. There's a lot of people that's the same side. If you're an iPhone user, you're probably getting Android people saying the same thing or whatever. But this is my experience because I like I tell you, I use both daily, every day, but I do main an Android. So a lot of my tweets and everything will come from that instead of coming from my iPhone. So because of that, I get a lot of resistance from iOS users a lot on Twitter, and it's it's just so problematic that I just got to a point where if I kind of feel like you're a fanboy or I just block people. I don't even go to muting. Like I don't want them to even see my tweets. Like it's muting isn't enough. Muting is like me not seeing what they gotta say. But I don't even want them to see my tweets to interact under my tweets at all. And a good friend of mine, or not I don't want to say a good friend, but another Twitter colleague said he don't mind the engagement. I was like, oh, that's pretty smart. If I didn't block them, then I would still get engagement on my tweets and reach out to more people. So which is pretty smart. But I don't know. I don't like the negative energy from anybody. So I just block it out. I block it out in the real world. I block it out, on social media. I just, it's just I don't need negative energy in my life. I like to stay positive as much as possible. I try to be good to people. I try to treat people good. I try to respect everybody's opinions. I try to see the point of view from everybody, whether we're talking about tech or whatever we're talking about. I try to see two sides of it. I use multiple products here, so there's always two sides to a story, and I get it. The things that I do love about iOS, there's things that I hate about it. There's things I love about Android, or let's just break it down more like Google Pixels and Galaxy phones and stuff like that. There's things I love and hate about those too, but if I have an issue and I want to address it, or I just want to express my issue, maybe somebody else is having that same issue, then I don't feel like it's a window for like somebody to jump on my comments to say, you just this and you just that. I mean, I had some very hateful and hurtful comments under my post when I tweeted, from an Android about iPhone, or even from my iPhone, you know, and it takes you to like 0 to 100, and the fact that some of these tweets will take you to a point where you just wish that they were right there in front of you so you can just punch the shit out of them or knock them out. But you know, that's the level that some of these fanboys are at when it comes to, the brand that they love and how far they will reach out to try to get a rise out of you, or just blatantly just love their brand, and just they're gonna defend it to the end, and they would say some very hurtful and hateful things to you. So I normally just block, like I said, I get to the point where I just block and keep them out of my space. So yeah, I've been dealing with this for a long time, and I noticed that the bigger that you get on that Twitter platform, the more people are you gonna find that's like that, and the more engagement. But it's not all bad. I found some really really cool people who are on iOS and who are on Android, and we had some really great conversations about the two, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you know, every blue moon, somebody would jump in there and say some crazy mess or whatever. And I also noticed that a lot of posts that I make sometimes, it could be about not even like an Android or something. I don't know. iPhone users, they're like this. Not all. Let me not say all, but like some iPhone users, they're like this weird elite, right? Where they feel like their opinion needs to be said or heard. Heard. It feels like their opinion needs to be heard, no matter what it is. Like, it has to get out there, and so they get up under your comment. I mean, your post, and then they comment whatever they gotta say, and they feel good about what they say. Obviously, for this whole entire year, I haven't responded to any negative comments whatsoever. If they're under my post, um, I started to read it, and then I noticed that it's getting kind of like negative, and I just kind of just flick and keep going. I don't even finish it if it's a long rant about something or whatever. So I don't block them because they haven't said anything disrespectful to me or hurtful or hateful or anything for that matter. But I will just ignore them completely and just hope they never find me again, or they just go away or whatever. But I know how Twitter, the way Twitter works. If there's a fanboy who posts under my post, then his fanboy friends that he's probably hanging with, or he's probably following other fanboys, and they're following him, so they're gonna see that he liked my post or comment, and then they're gonna jump up there. So next thing you know, I got like a list of fanboys up here saying this and saying that or whatever. So I do try to ignore, that, and just leave it as, let them be. Um, but my Twitter experience is, like I said, it's been up and down, but it's been more up now because I just learned to just completely ignore. And then if it gets to a point where the person is just very hateful about what they're saying and disrespectful to a certain extent, I just block them, get them out of there, and I don't never see them again. I ain't got to worry about it. And normally, if they're blocked, all the other people that's following them, that's like them, won't see my post either. Hopefully, they don't see my post, But yeah, it's been crazy. It's been. I know a lot of you are experiencing the same thing on Twitter, especially people who use multiple devices, because people seem like you have to be loyal to a certain company, and there's a lot of fights about who does what better, who had what first. It don't matter who had it first, this one made it better. It's a lot of that going on, and I really don't care for any of who made it first, who did it better. I love tech, I love the evolution of it, and I want to see everything that we use in life get better. Literally, if one company makes something and then that other company duplicates that and make it better, then I want the other company to make that better than what they made, and keep going. I want the cycle to continue to go. I want to see tech continue to grow, whether it's Android, iOS, or Windows or Mac OS. I want to see the evolution, and I love it. So with that being said, I buy into all of these products and these brands because like things that iOS can do, Android can't do, and there's things on Android that iOS can't do. And when I don't have one or the other, I feel like I'm missing something, and that's how it is with it. A lot of things about like PlayStation and Xbox. There's a lot of people who fight against those too, and my buddies when I'm on a console with them, I'll say all the time, man, can you believe there's actually people out here just Team Xbox and Team PlayStation or Team PC and that's it? Can you imagine like being that person? And we all like no, like we enjoy Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Switch, VR. Like I'm a gamer. If you put that tag gamer right here, that means everything under. That means PlayStation, Xbox, blah 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 blah. That don't mean I'm PlayStation right here, right? And then everything PlayStation makes. I'm not in that bubble. So when I say I love tech, that's LG, Samsung, Apple, Canon, Nikon, I don't know, HTC, not their phones, but their headsets, their VR headsets. But Oculus, just tech is a big umbrella. When I say that, I'm using the word as in like all broad. I'm not using it as in like Apple, Samsung, or Google. I'm using it as a broad statement. I love tech. I love technology. So when there is some cool ass technology, I want it. I want to try it. I want to see how it is. I'm not limited to wait around for like Apple to make stuff. And then that's as far as I go with technology. Like that's some people or some people with Google. You stop there. Whatever Google makes, that's where your tech stops at. That's not me. I enjoy everything tech. So, you know, I'm not a fanboy of anybody. I mean, or at least when it comes to tech, I know a lot of people say that we have a lot of bias towards things, but I don't really want to say that I'm biased towards you know um, like a brand. I'm not biased towards a brand. I'm more biased towards tech that works for me. So a good example is that Apple makes a laptop, Samsung makes a laptop, and Microsoft makes a laptop. And what I need my laptop to do, Apple laptop doesn't do it as efficient as I want it to. And Samsung actually has a laptop that I never tried yet, which I want to. And the Surface laptops, the Surface Pro line, does exactly what I needed to do. And my prime example is what I'm saying is that I love the experience of editing my photos, and I say this 1,000 times over. I love editing my photos with the pen and the touchscreen under Photoshop. It's amazing experience, and you would say, "Hey, man, you can do that on a Mac, right?" But then I have to go buy a graphics tablet or whatever. But it's not the same. It's not the same experience. It's not because I'm taking the Surface and I'm flipping it and I'm drawing straight on the screen with the pen or writing straight on the pen with the screen. You can't do that on a Mac. You can do that on a Samsung tablet, like the 360 books that they have or whatever like that. So I haven't tried that experience yet, but that's what I like. So I'm more biased towards the, I guess the two in one or foldable. I guess I don't, I guess we just say two in one. I'm more biased towards a two in one. I'm not biased towards Surface or Microsoft or Samsung for having that. But if Apple made that product too, then I'll try theirs too. But they don't make it. So it's not that I'm biased towards Surface or that is it's the product itself of what it can do. I'm more biased towards that stuff than biased to the company or the brand. That's not me. Like I buy what works best for me, and because of what it does for me and how it works for me, that's where my bias is at. It's towards that. So if you want to say that I'm biased, that's where I'm biased at. It's not, oh, the Pixel is everything I wanted in a phone. It's definitely not. It's the phone that I like right now, but it's not everything I want in a phone. There's a lot of things that's in Samsung phones and the iPhone and the Google phone, Pixel phone that I wish I could just cram them all together and just have that perfect phone. And that's not the case. So Um, Other than that, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this rant up. I feel like I just needed to talk about this. I hope you please come back on the next podcast. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and there will be many more. And God bless. Or let me not say that. Everybody don't believe in God, right? Um, have a blessed day. Peace.